Hey guys, so let's have a conversation about AI music, specifically metal, like AI in metal music. What are my thoughts on this? And I mean, why should you care what my thoughts are? But I think maybe my thoughts like reflect a lot of people. And what I would like is for you guys to like leave a comment, like the video and leave a comment and let's just start a conversation. Maybe some of you have great point of views that you would like to share or like agree with me or disagree with me. But I think it's important that we talk about it, especially in metal. Um, why do I say specifically in metal? Well, it's because it's instrument based. It's you need like skill and you need stuff. You need to learn a lot of stuff. Now, as always, every time I do like one of these videos, I have nothing planned because I really want to, like have my unfiltered thoughts. So I didn't script out anything or like do an outline of what I'm about to say. But like, here's basically what happened to me. So I was aware of AI music, but I didn't like necessarily know how much you needed to feed the algorithm and stuff to generate like good music, I guess. So what happened to me is I have a friend who contacted me and he said, "Hey, I tried this AI tool to help write a song. Want to try it?" And I was like pretty skeptical, but I went like, okay. So basically, I wrote and recorded 4 or 5 riffs at like 6:30 in the morning, like before I had my coffee, and I wrote and recorded those riffs in like 2 minutes. So you can imagine they were shit. They were no good, and no like real like structure, and no like actual thought or practice went into those riffs. So I sent them the riffs, expecting basically nothing back. And a few minutes after, he sent me a full song. And I listened to the thing and I'm like, this is mixed, mastered, arranged, and it composed an entire song using these 4 or 5 shitty riffs that I sent it. And it also like fixed the playing errors. So everything was like perfectly in time. Everything was awesome. The tones were good and stuff. And my reaction to that was I was actually kind of sad. I was like, wait, is this the end of music? I mean, we spent years, like I've spent years like learning how to mix, master, and like produce, the songs that I do. I do just covers and stuff. I'm not like a pro artist, but it's a skill that takes time and you're always trying to learn. Same, and like guitar playing is the same way. I'm not like an amazing player. I'm at the level that I am and I'm trying to get better all the time and I'm having fun doing that. But that AI just sent me like a perfect song, I guess, with all the shit that I gave it because it was shitty content. And, I didn't feel good about it. That's the thing. I wasn't like, yeah, I have a great song. It was like, oh. So I was having a conversation with that friend, and I really want to point out that I'm not trying to like throw him under the bus or anything. He's an amazing dude, amazing guitar player. Just it was a conversation and different viewpoints, and trying to understand stuff. And he was telling me, I fed this AI like a song that I started and I didn't finish, and it like arranged it and it did everything, and No, it's still my riffs, it's still my song. And I was thinking about it and I was like, is it? I'm like, no, it's not. In the same way that if, let's say, I had a very prolific songwriter friend, like let's say, I don't know, I'm friends with Ola England, all right? Not true, but let's say I was friends with Ola England, and we know that this guy like produces and writes a ton of music. All right, so I'm friends with Ola. I call Ola and I tell him, "Hey, dude, I have these 4 or 5 amazing riffs. Can I send them to you? And can you do something with that?" And he goes, "Yeah, sure." And then he comes back with like a full song. It's here. So would that be my song, or would that be Ola England's song? If we're talking like in the context of like, um, I guess music royalties or stuff, it would be Ola's song because he's the one who wrote it. I would have maybe a songwriting credit because I gave riffs, but it's not my song. I didn't create it. I didn't go, well, this is a chorus, this is a bridge. I should, like maybe change the tempos and arrange this and this one. That's the songwriting part. And maybe like he added like some filler riffs and like solo or something that I didn't do. That's not my song. That's Ola's song using my riffs. So with the AI, I feel it's not my song, it's the AI's song. So it's their interpretation of my song. Like, so, and then when I was talking to my friend, and he's like, yeah, but if I record all the guitar parts after, and those are my guitar parts, so it's kind of like my song. And I was like, still no. In French, we have what we call un interprète. An interprète is an artist who does not write his own music or lyrics or other. They just perform. So most like pop artists nowadays are interprètes. They don't write. They don't. They go basically into the studio and like they sing and that's it. Even then, a lot of times it's not singing. It's like vocal comping where they chop word per word and they try to make something out of it. So, and then, oh, it's my song. No, you didn't do shit. So it's not your song. And even if we re-record that, I feel it's the same way. And I don't know, why is that really important? Well, I think one of the main things is creativity. Um, it's so important to be creative and have your own ideas and your own emotions into song. And for a lot of us metalheads, music like saved our lives in many instances, whether it would be times we're super down or depressive or suicidal or whatever. How many of us can say that music pulled us out of like dark times, or the opposite, when we were like super happy, we were listening to music that like made us happy even more, and it was maybe more joyful. And to us, music is super important, and it's not a throwaway commodity. Like most like pop songs or radio songs, they're made to be like popular for like 2 weeks, and then you like throw them away, and it's the next club hit, to dance to. It has no substance. But metal's not like that, and rock's not like that, and most actual instrumental music's not like that. And when I say instrumental, I mean like jazz, blues, um, classical, whatever. There's real like emotion, creativity into that. And are we gonna let like an AI tell us what our emotions are or how we should feel or whatever? It's not music, It's and I think we can like different like put like metalheads in like 2 categories. I think you have the listeners and you have like the participants. And when I say like not participants, that's I meant I would say musicians. And it's not that one is like better than the other. It's just different. Like you have people that like listen to metal and they're like totally into it and they like collect albums, like run like fan sites and like do all this stuff. And metal is like so important to them, but they're not, you know, writing it or performing it. And then you have those that do write and perform or play instruments, and maybe to them, to both sides, it might be different. I'm not saying one is better than the other. I think it might be a little bit, our viewpoints on metal might be not, no, I think our viewpoints are probably the same, but maybe the impact feels a bit different. Maybe it hits harder for musicians, um, because it's like, wow, I spent years like learning these skills or practicing, and now something just came up and it's doing it in like 2 seconds. So it feels weird. So, but I mean, at the same time, we can't go back, right? The technology exists. So if we like go back to when like MP3s started, right? And you had like file sharing services. People were like, "Oh my God, it's going to kill music," and we need to stop this right now. It didn't stop. It just evolved. We can't go back with technology. That's the thing. So we can't say AI doesn't exist or will wipe it from the face of the earth. It's here. I think how we use it, or if we use it, is the correct way. Now, my my idea of it is that we should not be uploading and sharing AI music. Okay, I think we should keep metal as real, as human as possible, and not like spend the night like writing 20 AI songs, where the lyrics are made with Chat GPT and the music is made with some other AI, and then uploading 20 songs to our own Spotify account or our own YouTube account or something, and like flooding the market with like crap that, it maybe something will sound good, but I don't think we should share it. I think that's maybe the solution for us metalheads, to just like stand up and say, no, I am not participating in sharing. Okay. It's not the real thing, but we can use AI to help us out if we have like maybe, I don't know, I don't want to even say writer's block, but help us understand as a learning tool. Like, let's say I were to like write a song, and I would like use the AI to just help me understand, oh, this is a great idea for a chorus, this is a great idea for a bridge, this is a great idea for a main part, or stuff like that, just to help me like understand these things so that I can then learn more. So as a learning tool, but not as a sharing tool. So if I think if you're like just having fun at home, like writing metal tunes for yourself with AI and not sharing that music, I think it's good. This is going to sound weird, but the analogy that I have it is basically I compare AI music to like having like a flashlight or like some high-end sex doll or something. It's not the real thing. You can have fun at home, but like don't go out in public with that thing. It's like you're not going to bring your real doll to like a dinner date in a movie. You're going to just like stay at home with it and have some fun, but not share it, not show people. I think AI music is basically that. It's something that you should use at home and don't show people and don't share it. It's not like the real thing. It's not like going out with your wife or your girlfriend. Maybe that sounded weird, but I think it's a really good analogy. Yeah, so don't don't go out with your special toys, and don't share AI music. So I think that's my idea about it. What are your thoughts on it. I really want to know. I want you guys to comment. I want you guys to have a discussion with me and with each other, and in a respectful manner. Of course, I don't want people to start like bullshitting each other. And I think it's so important in metal, especially, that we like stand strong and say like, no, 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 I'm not. We're keeping metal, real and human, because this form of music is not meant to be a 2 week thing that you go to the next hit within 2 weeks. You know, if I look at my like Spotify, I have albums from 20 or 30 years ago that I adore, that I still listen to, and stuff that came out last week that I think is amazing. So, metal is not a disposable genre where you forget. That's why we still talk about, artists from like 20, 30, 40 years ago, and we still like, you know, look at them with importance and like respect. So I don't know how to end this. It's a weird discussion, but I can tell you I'm not going to be putting out AI songs. Some people are going to go, yeah, you just had an AI generated thumbnail for your video. I'm like, yeah, that's a joke. It's, I don't want to start using AI for my stuff. I do Photoshop and stuff. So same thing. Thumbnail's a joke, but yeah, I'm not going to upload AI music, and I don't think any of us should. Maybe just, yeah, you try and use it as a learning tool, or just for like shits and giggles, and just use it at home and not share the songs. I think that's important. And try not to like do like cheap copies of like bands. Like let's say uh, everyone knows I'm a huge Chimera fan. So if I were to go to an AI and say, hey, write me a Chimera song and have a guest vocal by this singer, and that sucks. That's not cool, man. That's just not cool. But yeah, but maybe if I do an entire song by myself and then I upload it and I try and learn and then apply stuff that I learned, but keep my creativity, not the AI's creativity. Um, Maybe that could be a nice tool, but that's it. It's a weird thing. So I'm going to end it here, guys, because I'm going to ramble on for like 5 hours. But what are your thoughts? Leave a comment. And if you want to help me out, subscribe to the channel and stuff, would really help. So see you next time, guys. And, I hope this conversation is going to go somewhere. See you next time.